views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey there, sports fans. Bobby C here on Sports NYC. We're back on the program from our brief summer hiatus. We'll take a look back at all the great things that happened here this summer in New York City. We'll also catch up for the race for the Indy Cup title. We'll get involved with the hoopla surrounding McGregor and Mayweather, and we'll get you caught up to speed on the NBA and the NFL seasons. All that and more is coming up next right here on Sports NYC, so keep it locked. We begin the show with a night out on the town in the Bronx to see Mayweather and McGregor. We caught up with some locals and their perspectives about the super fight. We're standing by with Seth here at the Kilt. What an amazing night for the sport of MMA and boxing. You guys are carrying the McGregor and Mayweather fight. What has this entire experience been like for you?
It's been absolutely awesome. The hype for this fight is overwhelming. We got a packed house. Everyone's here to have a good time and see a one-of-a-kind event, so we're looking forward to showing everyone a good time, and hopefully it'll be a good fight.
Hey, ladies, who do you got in tonight's big fight?
McGregor. Yeah. Did you see his suit? Did you zoom in on the suit and what it said? I won't repeat it because we're on TV, but he has to win this.
If Mayweather can go and hit him a nice one after the 8th round, I see McGregor getting knocked out.
So, Mayweather in a knockout in 8 rounds or less.
Yep.
You can see it, he was so tired. I was for Conor, but hats off to Mayweather, I'm not a sore loser.
He had no chance. He was done by the 5th round. I said, what? Come on now.
I mean, for you, is it special to have an event like this because you're bringing together a lot of people here in the Bronx that really love sports?
Absolutely. You know, this is our first big fight night after the renovation and enhancing the overall aesthetic of the place and trying to bring a new, younger vibe. So what was an iconic institution of burgers and wings here in the Bronx. So we're excited to have this be our first fight night. It's a great way to start.
From the legends of the sport in boxing and MMA to a guy that is on the trail to being a legend himself someday, here's an insider look at New York City's own Junior Yonan.
Junior Yonan, the young god. I'm a super middleweight professional fighter. I first started boxing when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and what drew me into boxing is that, you know, my father did it. You know, I fell in love with it at a young age. My father definitely is the biggest part of my success because, you know, he's trained me since I was a baby. I didn't go out and play with my friends. You know, I was in the gym all the time, and growing up in the gym was tough because, you know, I was always the youngest, so, you know, I would always have to spar with the older guys. But it was very beneficial because I learned a lot from being around everybody that was older than me and being in that atmosphere. My first real fight was 8 years old. It was in Rochester, New York. It was the state silver gloves. And I lost, you know, but I bounced back, you know, a couple months later, I won my first fight, and it was history from there. Getting ready for a fight is very strict, gotta eat right, gotta sleep early, can't go out, can't eat what I want. That helps me a lot. I bust my butt in the gym. I study a lot. I watch Andre Ward, I watch Roy Jones. I'm a boxing fan. I think what drives me is just the hate for losing. My last fight was my toughest so far. My opponents always try to get in my head because they know, you know, he's young. He definitely, you know, pushed me to bite down and win the fight. On that card in Vegas, It was an amazing experience, and it brought my confidence up. I definitely feel like there's some pressure on me. That's what makes people, you know, go harder. That pressure should drive you. I love being on a big stage. I love, you know, feeling like my back's against the wall. And signing to Rock Nation, you know, you get a little buzz. You know, it's amazing. Every fighter dreams about fighting on the biggest card of the year. You know, to be a part of something like that is, you know, it's a dream come true. Just keep pushing forward. It's, you know, it's a long journey. It's a roller coaster. You know, but it's fun.
Boxing may have dominated the headlines a lot this summer, but one of the biggest events in MMA came to Madison Square Garden. Here's a look at Bellator.
Fights. I think that when we put this fight card together, we talked about doing a fight card that has something for everybody, and I think that that's what we delivered tonight.
And, you know, I've worked hard too. I just haven't had quite the opportunities that others have. But I did get this opportunity, and I made it count. And I'm sure I spoiled some plans, and you know, I'm sure they'll be throwing some heavy hitters at me.
You know, I just wanted to. I felt like I could challenge myself, but hey, you make mistakes in life, and you know, it is what it is.
How much do or die pressure did you feel going into this fight with Wanderlei?
I didn't feel any pressure, but I will concede to you that's a reality, man. You never know when it's your last fight. You know, there's an expression, you're never done with the business, but one day the business is going to be done with you, and that's just a reality. And the term fighter became corrupted. When I was a young man, a fighter was somebody that got up and did what they didn't want to do when the chips were down and it was hard. That's what a fighter did.
You know, how happy are you just to achieve this goal and, you know, remain undefeated?
On top of the world, man. It was great. I feel blessed, and I'm so lucky for them giving me the chance and getting in there and fighting with one of the best lightweights in the world, Michael Chandler, and it was an honor to throw some hands with that guy. And man, I'm on top of the world. I'm the lightweight world champion.
You've defeated a dangerous fighter, a guy who was probably ranked above you in these world rankings we talk about. So how do you feel about that accomplishment?
Feels good, you know. Like you said, he's ranked top 7, top 5 in the world, and you know, I just beat him. You know, beat him pretty soundly too. So hopefully now I get some respect. You know, that I belong here. I belong in the top 10. You know, I've always wanted tough fights like that.
Any feeling of feeling starstruck, like I'm really facing this guy? I mean, did that ever come into play as far as you?
No, there was no. I wasn't starstruck at all. But he's really, really good. He is easily the best person I've ever fought.
So the question was how Fedor was feeling after the fight. So Fedor's feeling, well, I'm feeling myself very good. So I just got the doctor's inspection. So everything was good.
To be Madison Square Garden, have a big fight. I mean, there's some extremely talented fighters and some, you know, there's some talent up here. I mean, I've been around this fight business a long time, and there's some talent in that room tonight, and they gave it their all. So extremely proud of these guys, and I thought the media, thank you guys. You guys covered us extremely well all, you know, for the whole week and leading up to the fight. I think this is the most coverage we've ever had for an event, and this is the one to do it.
When it comes to the business of hard hitting, the NFL knows a lot about that. The NFL season is back, folks, and we got a chance to see the Giants and Jets in some preseason action. Here's more. The New York Giants got the better of the New York Jets Saturday night at MetLife Stadium in their annual Snoopy Bowl affair. But after a dominating first half for the G-men, gangrene made them sweat it out. Preseason matchup aside, the Giants scored on a safety and 2 interception returns early, turning the bragging rights of the Big Apple into a laugher before a late thriller by the Jets. The Giants held on 32-31 after opening a 29-3 lead. After failing to score a TD in their first 2 preseason games, Big Blue's defense and offense shined in the first half. But the Jets had their chance to win after Christian Hackenberg took over for the injured Bryce Petty with 2 minutes to play and finished off a 75-yard touchdown drive with 1 minute and 26 seconds left. But the Giants stopped a 2-point run to seal it. Both the Giants and the Jets unfortunately started the season 0-2, but that was until week 3 when the Jets finally got into the win column against the Miami Dolphins.
We were 0-1 in division, and to come out here against a great Miami team, great defensive front, great linebackers, secondary, to get a win like that, It was phenomenal, and the coaches did a great job coaching, and the players did a great job playing. So it was all around great win. And special teams, first of all, did a great job. We always harp on talking about getting turnovers, and this week, they tried to pull a fake when we were up, 20-0, and we ended up getting a turnover, which was huge.
It's always good when you come out the field and you're healthy, but to go out there and get a win, it's big. It's hard to win in this league, and we were able to go out there and execute today and put on tape what type of team we can be. And, it's good to get a win. We got to do it again this week.
And a different mindset that we was going to dominate and that we wasn't going to let nothing get in the way, It's the NFL is going to be good players every single week lined up on the other side of you, but we had a mindset and we had a, not going to let nothing stop us.
Unity. That's what it's about. Us locking arms was about unity. And we had a captain come up to the team beforehand and speak about that. And that was our mindset. That's what we wanted to do when we came out for the national anthem. And I'm just happy that everybody locked as one. And it showed on the field. It showed how we came out and played.
You look in this locker room, it's people from all different backgrounds, all different creeds, all different cultures. But we able to come together and lock arms and say whatever the problem is, we want to face this thing head on. We're going to face it together. And that's what it's going to take. That's what we stand for in this locker room.
Gang Green did get into the win column in their home opener, but not the same fate for the Giants on Monday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. The only real good part of the evening for Big Blue, of course, a chance to celebrate some former champions. The evening wasn't all bad for the New York Giants. It was also a night when the team honored the 10-year anniversary of that 2007 football championship season.
We didn't just win a game. We just didn't get it done. Fellas, I need a little help. What did we do? We stop you now!
That 2007 team started the season 0-2, and this year's team starts the season 0-2 as well. The final score tonight, 24-10. The New York Giants out of answers.
We have to analyze everything we're doing. We can't pull points out of a hat. We have to get to work. We have to block better. We have to handle the ball better. We can't turn the ball over. We have to play complete complementary football, and we're not doing it.
There were some good things. We moved the ball, better. I thought we played better than we did last week. Just obviously the turnover hurt us. And then, just not convert on third downs enough.
Odell Beckham Jr. did play coming off the injury, but the big story still the struggles of the offensive line and the running game.
Whenever you lose, it's frustrating. I think we're more so frustrated that we're not clicking as a unit, as an offensive unit. The defense is playing very well, so we just need to compliment them.
We're not running the ball well. We're not protecting the quarterback very well. Coach probably touched on it. We're not playing complementary football. So, not good overall.
We've got to take a timeout here on Sports NYC, but when we return, we'll get a chance to get caught up to speed with the IndyCar Championship.
Thanks for coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes.
But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Thanks for coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
No racing league may be more competitive than the Verizon IndyCar Series, and of course it comes down to the final weeks of the season. Our first stop here on the show is Pocono. Talk about powering to the front. Penske's Will Power found victory lane at Pocono for the second straight year. He overcame numerous obstacles to get to the front in the ABC Supply 500 at Pocono Raceway, holding off league points leader and teammate Joseph Newgarden to win the Verizon IndyCar Series race.
Seriously means a lot. I mean, I love racing on ovals. To come back and win it again in a very different way this year was a crazy race, exciting for me. But yeah, it feels fantastic to be back to do back-to-back.
The 36-year-old Australian defeated Newgarden by 0.5268 of a second to become the first IndyCar driver to post back-to-back wins on the three-turn oval in the event's 24-race history.
That's the beauty of the 500 milers. You can go to the back with 60 to go and go to the front again. You know, especially if you're on a little different fuel strategy and you're fast, you can get right back to the front. So I think a lot of it's credit to Will and his team. But I also think that's the way 500 miles race. If you're fast, you can go from the back to the front.
Lost in the buzz was another brilliant race from sophomore driver Alexander Rossi, who took home his second podium in the past 3 races with a third-place finish.
And I had a smile on my face the whole race. I mean, it's rare that you don't driving Indy cars, especially the tracks as awesome as this. So, you know, I had fun for the entire race, and anytime you're leading, there's some satisfaction.
And when it comes to racing, of course, it's all about the tires. We get an insider look at the racing technology at Firestone. Our BronxNet cameras got an insider look into the tires that make running the tricky triangle possible. Like their catchphrase, whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. The tire manufacturer has become synonymous with IndyCar. It was the winning tire of the very first Indy 500 back in 1911, and the marriage continues today as the official performance tire of American open wheel racing. Firestone Chief Engineer Kara Adams gave us the 411 on the unique challenges of the 2.5-mile Pocono Raceway and detailed how the same technology that goes into making race tires helps craft those race fans can drive on their own cars.
There's a lot of technology that transfers from race tires over to passenger, and believe it or not, from passenger tires over to racing. There's a lot of unique demands on race tires. These tires are going up to 238 miles per hour on the track, but some of that technology transfers over in some of the polymers we use, some of the testing, and some of the fundamental building blocks of the tire.
Fans were able to visit the Firestone Fan Experience at Pocono. Lisa Boggs, director of Bridgestone America's Motorsports, shed some light on the ABC Supply 500 and the more than 60 different race tire specifications for the 2017 season.
Each team will decide what they want to do. When you've got 500 miles, that's a lot of racing. So where you've qualified is almost not important. It's how you play that out. You're going to have a lot of pit stops. So you've really got to decide how you want to play that. If you find yourself in the lead or in the back, you might do alternate strategies. But the main thing is going to be to really execute those pit stops and to try to keep as much as you can in terms of track position. That'll be key for all the teams.
Second to last week of the season, we head up to Watkins Glen and get a chance to see Alexander Rossi do something that he hasn't done since he won the Indy 500. Move over, Scott Dixon. Alexander Rossi is the new ruler of Watkins Glen. At least that was the story this year. Rossi won the 60-lap race at iconic Watkins Glen International from the pole position. On the same weekend it was announced he would return to Andretti Autosport next season.
To be able to do this today, to have a 12-lap shootout against Scott on the same equipment, starting 1 and 2 on the restart and being able to go and prove that I can beat him was pretty cool as well.
The 25-year-old Californian led a race-high 32 laps and drove the number 98 Napa Auto Parts Honda across the finish line and ahead of four-time Glen winner Dixon.
Never raced Joseph really in a championship like this, and it's not just the two of us. I haven't seen the points clearly yet, but I imagine Elio is still there. I imagine Pagano is still there as well. So with double points, you can have a pretty hefty swing.
Ryan Hunter-Ray took third to give Honda the sweep. Hunter-Ray and Rossi also gave Andretti 2 podium finishers.
It's always fun when you're dealing with a track that's changing conditions like that, because you have to search around and you can get big advantages or you can lose a lot of big disadvantages.
Rossi overcame a malfunctioning fuel probe on his second pit stop. From there, Rossi laid down laps at near qualifying pace, regaining the lead on lap 29 and building an advantage of more than 12 seconds. Rossi kept Dixon at bay over the 11-lap dash to the finish.
With the fuel issue, I thought we were pretty much done. So we were fortunate, like I said, to have that yellow come out to where it negated those little things that had gone wrong. Today that we've done that, I think it's again another step in just internally and subconsciously proving to everyone on the team that we can do it and we have the capability, and it just makes hopefully those next wins and podiums come that much easier.
NBA camps also open up in the month of October. We got a chance to catch up to speed with some NBA prospects as they embarked on their NBA journey.
It's always been my dream to play in the NBA. Now it's finally here. So I look back on it when I have a chance to, but right now I'm just trying to live the moment. Just hearing my name, man, have dreams about it when you're little, and now it's finally here. It's just all a dream come true.
It's real now. It's not knowing what teams pick and stuff, and tomorrow we're going to be getting drafted to a team, so it's crazy.
It's so exciting. I'm really grateful. I told the other guy, I just can't believe that you guys know who I am. Because a couple years ago, nobody knew who I was.
The opportunity to meet all these great coaches and organizations, GMs, and everything like that, I think that's really been a blessing to me. Just to get knowledge from them to see what I have to do better to become the best player I can possibly be.
Dennis, what would it mean to you to be a member of the New York Knicks?
It would mean everything to me. It's one of the legendary franchises in the NBA, and I would be thankful to be a part of that.
What's today, the 21st? June? I graduated June 4th, high school. So it's been a year and almost 3 weeks, and then I was at Kentucky June 7th. So it's been a little bit over a year since I graduated high school, and life changed so much in a year.
Emotions are gonna be flying all over the place. It's been something I've been looking forward to my entire life. I'm glad to be here right now, but the thing I'm most looking forward to is, just having my family there and just being in the moment. It'll definitely be a moment I remember forever.
From the hardwood to the blacktop, the summer season was sizzling when it came to basketball here in New York. And of course, we can't forget about the Hoops in the Sun Championship, which was hot to trot at Orchard Beach. New York City playground legend Corey Fisher put together the family with one mission at hand: win the 2017 Hoops in the Sun Roundball Classic at Orchard Beach. But the point guard suffered a hand injury late in the season and instead was relegated to GM duty Sunday against the Brooklyn Stompers, who were making their second straight appearance in the Hits Pro-Am Final. The Stompers fell just short last season, and even without Fisher in the family's lineup, Brooklyn watched as the team from the Bronx edged them in the closing minutes behind the three-headed monster of Jordan Aaron, Mike Glover, and Chaz Williams. Aaron, who garnered the league's favorite nephew award from announcer G-Stacks, upstaged league MVP Jay Will of the Stompers en route to being named championship MVP. The family had come together at the right time to be crowned kings of the Bronx Riviera. And of course, this summer has been all about the New York Yankees resurgence and one particular player who's been phenomenal, and that is Aaron Judge, likely the Rookie of the Year in the American League this year. He was the star of the Midsummer Classic in Miami, winning the Home Run Derby.
Bronx Bomber rookie sensation Aaron Judge is the biggest thing in baseball, not just literally at 6'7", the tallest of the American League All-Stars in Miami, but also in his towering persona and home runs. All rise. Judge is the 2017 T-Mobile Home Run Derby champion.
Just having fun. You know, if you're going out there and having fun, you get to soak it all in, like their derby last night. You know, I was just stepping out, I was looking at guys, I was just having fun, smiling, and just trying to enjoy it all. You know, even win or lose, you're just trying to go out there and have fun.
The Yankee slugger lived up to the hype, slamming nearly 4 miles of homers at Marlins Park, including 4 drives of more than 500 feet. Judge overcame 22 first-round blasts from Justin Bour of the Marlins and a dozen long balls from the Dodgers' Cody Bellinger in the second round.
It was sweet. It was loud. Yeah, like I said, when I was hitting, I didn't hear it. But, you know, when Sano and Judge and Stan were hitting those balls, it got real loud, and especially Bour, you know. Fans were on their feet, and they were excited.
Judge slammed 11 homers in the finals to defeat Miguel Sano of the Twins.
I lost my voice screaming for Gary and Judge. I mean, I thought it was a tremendous show those guys put up. I get to see it every day. I mean, I feel like he does it every time he hits BP, but, you know, that was fun. I mean, everybody enjoyed it. You know, I thought it was one of the, you know, for me, that was probably one of the best days I've had here at an All-Star for my last 4 years.
Judge was the star of the Home Run Derby, and one former Yankee was the star of the night during the actual Midsummer Classic.
The 88th Midsummer Classic was a classic indeed. Seattle Mariners second baseman Robinson Cano hit the go-ahead home run in the 10th as the AL All-Stars edged the NL Stars 2-1 in 10 innings. Cano's long ball, the 4th extra inning blast in an All-Star game and the first in 50 years, led him to being named the game's most valuable player.
As a kid, you know, you watch Griffey and all those guys that come to the All-Star game, winning MVP, you wanna get that feeling.
It was good to have a guy like that put such a great swing against a great pitcher and be able to do something.
America's pastime shined in Miami as an influx of young talent has taken the game by storm.
You know, honored to be here, very thankful to have the help and to be voted into this game. And I'm happy to compete.
I've definitely looked back on, you know, the struggle of last year and then just all the hard work I put in the off season. It feels good for it to all, you know, kind of culminate here in the All-Star game, and what it tells me is just to keep working hard.
To be in the same clubhouse as all these guys is special to me. I'm blessed to be in this situation. There's a lot of good guys in this room, so I'm just happy to be here.
That's all the time we have here on Sports NYC. Stay tuned next time for more from the MLB postseason, the NFL, and the NBA. We'll see you next time.